This is your degenerate power hour, your late night golden shower. Too ill to be sick, so thick you can't split. That carnival spin with the rickiest grin. I'm Joel, he's BMO, and this is Vagrants and Vandals Radio. There it is. Now listen, there wasn't a podcast last week. Try as I might, I was simply too busy between work and the move to put something together. I'm actually recording this in my nearly empty apartment. I've got it for a couple more days, doing some work over here. So BMO is not actually in the physical space with me right now, which is fine. It just means I've got more room to spread out. I know you're chuckling at that, BMO, saying motherfucker as you sit drunk or high in your car. Anyways, just wanted to apologize to our regulars for not having one last weekend. Trust me, I wanted to. But, man, it's been stressful. A lot of work moving into this new house, but you're going to enjoy what we have here tonight. This is content that Brandon and I recorded more than 2 years ago. I've listened to it, had to do some edits. It was a lot of fun. I forgot how solid this particular episode was. And you're going to learn about something called fat men's clubs, which used to exist in this country. So enjoy that. And we'll be back next week and going forward with new episodes as usual. Enjoy tonight's episode, guys. It's your Thursday night delight, boys and girls. Get yourself a drink, relax, and calm down this wonderful path with me and BMO. Listen to some stories. Have yourself some laughs.
Preach it.
Play with your gents for all I care.
Well, all right then.
We going, not you.
No.
I'm right here. What the hell's wrong with you?
Family.
We got stories to tell, okay? But first, BMO.
Yes, sir.
So I asked you last week, what you drinking?
I am drinking the BMO Special, which I said last week, which is 2 fingers of black velvet whiskey, 2 ice cubes, and the rest of Mountain Dew.
We got to come up with a name for that. Something catchy like I mentioned last week. You know, I'm not crazy about Trailer Park Caviar, but something like that.
Golden Shower.
I'm thinking Trailer Park
seem to be
or
hip
White
on that.
Trash, Redneck, something we got to mix in there. Okay? Glad you're down for that.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Call it whatever you want. Tastes the same. Do exactly what it's supposed to do.
How long have you been drinking that?
Ooh, a while. I've been on the black velvet kick. Well, I was doing beer for a long time. I was trying to get healthy.
Beer?
Yeah, I love beer. I'm a huge beer fan. I love craft beer. 2 Hearted Ale, brewed right here in Michigan. Fucking delicious.
Are they sponsoring the show now or what?
No, but it's fucking delicious. Anyone who's had 2 Hearted Ale knows how good it is. They like craft beer. But it causes my gout to flare up.
Fucker's got teeth falling out his head. He's got gout.
That's the rich man's disease, son. Back in the day, you strive to get the gout. That means you was eating fatty foods, drinking that hard booze. You put a little weight on. You laying back, eating grapes on a vine.
Sounds like an early grave to me.
There was also that. But it's delicious.
You know me, I'm still sipping on that white Zinfandel.
That bottle will last on probably about 3 or 4 weeks.
Nah, it'll be gone soon. Good stuff, though. Our missus got me through some rough patches.
Did you buy that at Rite Aid or Walgreens?
I don't know. Shirley picked it up. I was like, I need some wine. We're going to be podcasting.
You got no cheese to go with that wine? What the fuck?
Yeah, some cheese slices in the fridge if you're
Not
interested.
craft singles, bro. Come on, a nice smoked Gouda.
Yeah, we ain't got no
or
smoked
fresh
Gouda.
Munster.
No, sorry.
Mozzarella.
Look, don't be coming in here with your fancy cheeses and your craft beer.
I used to be a connoisseur. What you want?
Take this back to your Metro days.
I'm also a cook.
Is Metro, is that an offensive term now?
Probably.
Yeah, probably is.
Something with twink.
I mean, but they're all like, I mean, we're diversifying, so it's okay to be metro or to be a twink.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like a twink's like a skinny gay dude, right? That's a twink, right?
Yeah, real skinny, effeminate.
Yeah, like a femboy,
Twinkie.
right?
Little
Or maybe a femboy something else.
Or you be a bear.
I can't keep up with all this shit.
Big burly
honest.
gay man, grab you up like a bear.
Yeah.
Chubby, hairy.
You'd be a bear if you were gay, right?
Yes. I think I'd be
What would I
classified.
be?
Just gay. I think you just be gay.
That's it?
I mean, you're not really thin enough to be a
some,
twink.
I don't get
You're
some
not
classification.
You're not effeminate. You're just one of those average butt pirates.
You know, I heard a term recently. I read it in a book, and I think I got that look a little bit because I like to wear the flannel. I got the scruffy beard. A lumbersexual.
Lumbersexual. That's a new one for me.
That's what I heard.
I'm not hip on my gay terminology, but
Well, get hip, bitch.
I guess I'm gonna have to.
Let me ask you this: your ventures in Owasso or any time?
Why must it always come back to Owasso?
Listen.
Why?
We talked about some of your degeneracy last week. We're going to talk some more. Okay.
There's lots. Volumes. Encyclopedia of degeneracy.
You ever have yourself any gay tendencies?
No. I mean, count putting a finger in your wife's butt.
No, that's not gay. You did it with a woman.
Butt play.
That's not gay.
No, then no.
All right, then.
I mean, I did one time bang a chick on a couch while two dudes were banging on the couch next to us. That was awkward.
Still not gay.
It was awkward.
Wait. There was two dudes banging each other?
Hell yeah.
Now, how'd that come about?
We were on ecstasy.
Extra,
Banging this chick I didn't even know on the couch, and
who was this chick?
I couldn't
you
tell
didn't
you.
even know. This is an Owasso?
Yeah, I couldn't even tell your name. I have no idea. All I know is that whole night, the way I can equate it was like being on like a reality TV show. Everyone vying for a warm hole. And if you happen to get in one, you won. I won.
So you're on ecstasy, though. How can you be sure that while you're getting on with this girl, one of those dudes didn't finish up and mount you?
I was on bottom. She was on top.
Yeah, you was the bottom, all right.
I remember just hearing some whimpering coming from the couch behind. I was like,
Whimpering?
going on? Yeah, I'm sure that probably. I don't even know if the guy getting fucked was gay or not.
He was just the
he was just go, he's like, well, I guess I'm the wormhole tonight.
He's taking it, though. Wow, how about that? Those Owasso days were something else.
Sometimes you get those Freddie Mercurys, dude, where they don't give a fuck if it's man or woman. A wormhole is a wormhole.
I know one of those.
I think I know who you're referring to.
You know exactly who I'm referring to. We won't say, but yeah. Good friend of mine. Oh, man, something just got in my eye, which probably happened when you were fucking on that couch having your ecstasy orgy. Ugh, I'm in rough shape, man. Okay.
One guy pulled out, the other guy farted and painted the wall. Spackle.
Jesus, man.
Spackle.
Wow. Going back to like a 90s homophobic joke? Really?
I thought everything was allowed on this goddamn podcast.
Pretty much.
Now I got to scale it back.
I just thought the standards were a little bit higher.
Do we have a lot of gays listening to this?
I don't know who listens to this.
I'm trying to think of anyone I know who's a closet homo.
Well, if they're in the closet, how would you know?
You always know.
You can suspect, but you can't know 100%.
Can't know 100%, but
It is strange, like nowadays. I mean, having never been gay myself, I'm not going to pretend to know what it's like to be gay, even in this day and age, and not not to be out of the closet. But it is strange. It's only strange to me because, especially amongst like younger people, like anyone under 40, let's say. I mean, most people I know under 40, being gay is not.
yeah, if you're in still
Nobody
in the closet
cares.
this day and age, either kill yourself or
Wow.
fucking switch it over. I mean,
Wow,
come on
dude,
now.
kill yourself? Really?
If you're still in the closet in
Why should they kill-
2021,
Why should they kill themselves? That ain't cool.
be who you are
Okay.
or suck a gun barrel. Whatever you want to do.
I'm trying to
Is
empathize.
this going to get us demonetized once we get monetized?
Probably. We're gonna
God damn it.
we're gonna get canceled. I'm saying I ain't in this person's shoes or that person's shoes. I'm sure there's reasons, but I'm of the type I completely support equality for everybody. So I'm just like, hey, be who you are. Like, no reason to hide anymore. But you never know what's going on in someone's life.
I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit. You put your dick in whatever you want to put your dick in. Don't matter to me. What you put in your ass is you and your ass. That's it.
Not just gay people put stuff in their ass.
No.
Nah, dude. Straight people or vicarious people.
One time I broke through the toilet paper. That was awkward.
You did what?
Broke through the toilet paper.
Like when you were wiping?
Yeah.
So you got shit on your hand?
I almost called the cops on myself. I felt like I had violated my own asshole. That felt like there would be some precedent for that.
Why were you going so forcefully at
Someone
it?
just fingered my butthole. Who was it, sir? It was me. I didn't like it. Now my finger smells funny. Oh, before we go any further, because I just said that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can't go any further into the gutter, so.
The other day,
Go
Gibson, my son, my youngest son.
You sure you want to tell this story on the fucking recorded podcast we're going to put on the internet?
Oh, yeah, this is funny.
Okay.
'Cause I think we've all been there at some point in our life as young males. He's got an itch going on down there, whether it be in his taint or his ass crack. He's down there going to town, getting to it.
Who knows?
Laying there watching TV.
Digging in.
He does his business. I think he's laying there watching TV, and then he does one of these, like...
He sniffs it, yeah.
I don't even think intentionally. I think he just wipes his face.
Okay.
He's like, Mom, my finger smells like poop. Like, keep your fingers out of your asshole. Won't have that goddamn
A
problem,
simple
son.
solution for that.
Now when I see him, I just do this, I go... It's just going to look like you motherfucker.
Got the rectal round.
Look, you're my dad, and you pay all the bills.
You got to teach him that phrase.
Well, you did pay all the bills.
Do you
now you're doing a fucking podcast and pay the bills.
Do you remember when we tormented Andrew, his kids, with rectal raunch?
I remember rectal raunch, but I couldn't remember where it came from.
Some dumb phrase I made up.
I mean, it's a real deal.
I don't even remember what got us started on it. Andrew, who knows? Probably someone smelled something. We're like, you got that rectal raunch. And he got so upset about it.
He was like, I don't like it when it gets hard.
He was watching.
He was like, you motherfucker.
He was watching Silk Stockings or something.
I don't even know.
He got a boner.
He was watching an old nun, that old chubby-faced nun who used to say was his teacher. He used to get so mad about it. You know what I'm talking about. You seen the woman's picture. You know what I'm talking
I don't
about.
know what the hell you're talking about. He got a boner over a nun?
I think that's what was on. He was fucked up in the head.
We're going to have to let him come on and tell his side of the story.
Call him up!
I remember him being upset over us teasing him about rectal raunch. So he goes to your mom about it, and then your mom started using the phrase on him. She's like, what's the matter? You got a little rectal raunch going on?
You bitch. Wipe my ass.
You know what that kid's problem is? Us.
Yeah.
We fucked him up.
You fucked me up, all right? It's a trickle.
I did.
It's a trickle-down effect. I'll fuck my kids up. My kids will fuck their kids up, and the long lineage of fucked upness will never end.
Yeah, so be it.
I couldn't think on my own. Clearly, you fucked me up.
How did I fuck you
I
up?
thought I had a learning disability in first grade. Didn't realize
You
I was
probably
fucking lazy.
You probably did.
Nope, just lazy. Just lazy. Look, we realize your son's not retarded. He's just fucking lazy. Really lazy. Pretended to be asleep as if nobody could realize that he wasn't sleepy. And even upon trying to forcefully wake him up out of his fake sleep, he refused to let go with a lie. Like getting caught stealing pogs at Farmer Jack.
Oh,
I was checking to see if it was double-sided. Fuckers bought it. They bought it, let me go.
They're like, but why did you open it out of the package?
Because it had a back on it. It was carded.
Yeah, but I thought the story was you actually were putting it in your pocket, and you said something like how you wanted to check and see if it fit in your pocket.
No.
Oh, okay.
There was a time where I had a handful of what was that shit that Nickelodeon used to make? It was like
Gack?
It wasn't Gack. It was like Gack, the Floam.
Floam, yeah.
It was very similar, but it was like
sandy almost.
Sandy almost. Yeah. I remember I opened the package, got it out, and as manager comes, I stuck it in my coat pocket. Dude, coated the inside of my pocket. Jacket was fucked after that. I was like, what's all this in your pocket? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea.
That's a reasonable response. No idea.
Look, all these chromies we found.
Wasn't there yet? You're all over the place with the story.
Yeah, it happens when I drink.
Well, here's the thing. Brandon's mentioning a lot of things that listeners will have no idea about.
Unless you lived our lives, you have no idea.
When I was a kid in particular, and obviously Brandon followed some of these, I stole a lot. I don't know.
I did some thieving.
Like, we weren't like dirt poor. Like, I had toys and shit, but I mean, by no means did I get everything I want. I never had any money. Like, I didn't get.
You had
allowance.
fucking Forbidden Bridge, for Christ's sake.
I did have Forbidden Bridge.
You had that.
But that was, I'm talking like that came a little later when I was like a kid, not even like a preteen or teenager. By that time, I was a pretty good thief. But as a kid, I stole. I'd steal baseball cards. I'd steal. You mentioned chromies off of people's
Yep.
tire valves. I'd steal those beads off of coats. I had a whole collection. And people would ask me, like, where'd you get those? I'd be like,
Found them. Found them in someone else's coat. You know,
I'm just thinking, no, I'd steal them from the store. When my mom would take us to Penny's and shit, she'd be shopping, I'd wander off.
talking about those little push.
Yep.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
I had all different colors of them. I thought they were so cool.
It's kind of cool if you had a bunch of them.
I stole rosaries from catechism.
Damn, bro. That's fucked up.
I like the colors on the beads.
I have a broken. I had a broken. It was me, you, Jason, and an uncle. And the uncle we spend all our time with.
Yeah.
We went to a cemetery out on King Road. It
Okay.
isn't far from here, as far as I know. And there, I took a statue had fallen over.
You stole from a grave?
Yeah, a rosary statue had fallen over, and the head broke off. I stole that bitch, and I had it for like fucking. I think I might still have it actually, after all these years.
And none of us realized it that day that you stole it?
You probably did.
Yeah,
I probably told
it's
you.
probably true. I'd be like,
bro.
hi.
Like, well, I'm trading that. I got a Camp King. Like, nah, I'm good, bro.
You gotta stop with the inside jokes. You gotta explain them.
That's why you're here.
Do you remember I was staying at your house, the Westland house on Hunter. We had gone, I think it was a Farmer Jack. And Farmer Jack, or maybe it was a Meyer. Anyway,
Farmer Jack.
important part of the story. I stole a lot of, I think they were basketball cards. And I remember some part of the deal was I was going to give some to you.
Keep my mouth shut.
Probably.
Hush cards.
But then, like, you started feeling guilty about it. Like, you didn't even want them. I was like, well, I mean, I'll take them.
That's the day you killed my innocence, you motherfucker. I remember.
I remember, like you're not going to say anything, are you? You can't rat me
At
out.
least not till you go home. Then who knows? Someone here to keep my mouth shut for me.
Yeah, I stole those cards. That was a pretty. I mean, it was. I got a lot of packs.
I was stealing pornos out of Save Mart. That's pretty jerking off. We were just stealing pornos to look at them.
Titties were good to look at, man.
No, these are penthouse, bro.
Ooh.
Where you get to see up the side.
Yeah, you know, I was never into like the spread leg look. I
don't mind a spread leg. I don't like the spread leg with the 2-finger hook. Pull it over.
No, I always thought that stuff was kind of
gross
degrading.
to me. Like,
I like to see the female form is gorgeous, and I like to see it. I like to see it properly lit and posed. It's beautiful.
But
Gaping, no, I ain't into that. I ain't into it. Hey, if that's your thing, so be it. But that ain't me.
we're not here to judge.
No.
I mean, we will.
But we will. Yeah.
We will, bud.
We will judge lots of things. Well, we got actual topics to talk about, if you care to.
Yeah,
we're
sure.
Like 17 minutes into this thing.
17 minutes of that debauchery. That's a little ridiculous.
Here's what we're gonna do. I got a rundown. We got topics, but
I see that chicken scratch
yeah,
that only you could read and decipher a million years. Now they're going to find that and be like, yeah, no. Throw it away. Burn it.
They're like,
there's no deciphering that shit.
We think this was like like a subculture within a subculture.
Only person who's got worse handwriting than you is Jibo.
Really?
Oh, my. Dude, it is not even regular alphabet. There's a lot of shit going on, dude.
He's writing in hieroglyphs.
It's almost like he planned on going to medical school and then just gave up. But yeah, he had the writing down. Like, you're not going to be able to read shit.
When I was... Whoa.
I thought that was your drink. Damn, calm down with your Zinfandel, son.
When I was in 11th grade, I had an English teacher. Very good teacher. She could be a little hard on me at times. I remember one time I didn't get to take a quiz because I'd leaped from a desk and drawn on another student's face with a marker. Like I came down like it was a sword. And I know people are thinking, wait, you were in what grade? 5th grade? 11th grade. And she refused to let me take the quiz.
She's like, you fail.
Yeah. And
You piece of shit.
And as the class was starting, I was like, well, I'll just take the quiz anyways. I'll just go along with it. And she caught me. She's like, I told you weren't taking the quiz. And I was just like, put me in my place. She harped on my writing all the time. Called it chicken scratch.
It's horrible.
And it's because I wrote so small and so fast. I could always read it. Years later, I'd look at someone and be like, I don't know what that says. She forced me.
What was I writing there?
She forced me to slow down and write larger. I hated it, but she made me do it. And I remember she wrote in my planner one day, she's like, you're my new readability king. Every other class, I still did the same chicken scratch.
I'm gonna murder you.
You were dead. She's an interesting person, very animated. Overall, I mean, yeah, she did. She put me in my place a few times, which I needed because you know me, like I've always gotten by on my ability to make people laugh.
Who was it?
My English teacher.
Yeah, what was her name?
I
mean, I went to that school, so.
No, you didn't. This is Jefferson High School.
Yeah.
You didn't go to Jefferson.
I had Centella. I had Powers.
That was the middle school. What? Well, hold on a second. What? You didn't go to the high school. You might have went to the middle school.
Maybe it was the middle school. I had Centella and Powers.
Yeah, I had Centella too. And then I had Powers in high school.
Piece of shit.
Which one?
Centella.
Yeah, I never liked him.
He made me take a Scantron quiz with a fucking piece of pencil lead this big because I forgot a pencil. So he gave me lead out of a mechanical pencil.
Yeah, that wouldn't even fly nowadays.
The little thin...
They'd fire your ass for that shit.
Exactly. You should have been fired.
I got sent to the office once.
He's a fucking fat piece of shit.
Stupid.
Fat chipmunk-looking motherfucker.
Let it all
out,
man.
Mr. Centella.
It was 25 years ago now.
I don't let shit go.
Where were we even at?
That's probably drinking.
I don't remember.
That wine's affecting us both.
There's white Zinfandel.
I guess as best you do have a little itinerary of what we're going over.
I was going to say, I think I might skip over a few of these because they don't quite fit the flow. Give it the flow. Because there's two things I really want to dedicate some time to today. Okay? Now, this first story time, kids. Sit down, Indian style, whatever you want. I don't care. You want to rub your nipples? That's what relaxes you? You want to know what relaxes me? You ever have your balls played with? Just like massaged and kind of stroked? Pulled even? Have your sack pulled?
I don't like my balls being handled too much.
If you've never tried it, do it.
I mean, I'll follow my own nuts every once in a while.
Have April do it. Dude, it's so relaxing.
I'm more of a back massage guy, or scratch my back, or rub my feet.
Yeah, that's all fine and well, but I'm telling you.
Massage my nuts.
Lay down, listen to me. Lay down on your back, okay? Just she caresses them, just like this. Gives them a little tug here and there. Dude, it's so relaxing.
Not that I need to bring this up, but I have a grown woman at home. Not an 18-year-old child.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Right, so things you guys are probably doing are not things that we're doing, because we're adults. Wife can't be easily talked into gargling semen and things of that nature.
Wow.
Like, she knows better.
First of all.
She's been down that road.
First of all, she's 22. Second of all.
Ooh, getting under your skin, son, a little bit. About fucking time.
Second of all, not the first one I've done it with, okay? You're going to sit here and judge me and degrade?
No one's judging anybody.
Degrade the act of getting your balls rubbed? You've never even tried it?
I tried it on myself. My hands are pretty
soft.
soft.
Tried it on yourself? You're a ham-fisted motherfucker. You're going to tell... Those are women's hands.
Like little balloons. Like little balloon hands.
They look like swollen sausages. What the fuck are you doing?
I soak them in hot water before I do it.
I can't believe you won't even try this.
I would try it tonight on your couch.
No.
You come out.
No, you go home and you try this with your wife.
Comes out, are you checking off my couch? No, I'm just fondling my nuts like you instructed. What do you mean?
Telling you, dude. Feels great.
You just check the clock? Mm-hmm. Like, we've been on this rubbing balls thing for a minute. Let's move on.
No, okay. Now let's get to our story. We got 2 stories. We gotta get to them because they get shit. All right. So, once upon a time, there existed fat men's clubs.
Boom.
They don't exist anymore.
I'm assuming it's exactly what I think it is, too.
It's a very interesting part of our sociological past here in this country. Speaks to American excess, to white male privilege. And for those of you who just, male privilege, that doesn't exist. Yes, it does. Calm down.
Some of my favorite things.
Calm down and shut the fuck up. You're an idiot. I'm trying to make you better. Let me read you this article. Now, I don't know where this article originally came from. This is from Texas Monthly. I found it on the internet one day. I couldn't even tell you how I came across this. But I read it, and I thought, this is perfect.
You going to read this whole thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to step out for a cigarette if you don't mind. I'll be listening.
Are you kidding me? You're going to step out for a cigarette in the middle of
Do I look like I'm fucking joking?
I can't tell. You got this weird smile because you got no goddamn teeth. Because step out.
It's a half cigarette while you're reading. I've already read the article, folks.
Break.
You'll love it.
Listen to this story, okay? Baseball, barbecue, and dead ponies. A history of fat men's clubs in Texas.
I don't even want to step out for it.
A peek inside the revelry and rivalry of Texas's fat men's clubs. Now, there's a picture, and I will have to post this. There's a picture that goes along with this story of these smiling fat fucks. I mean, we're so removed from this era. The clothing, and they look ridiculous. They look like almost like cartoon characters. These are some big boys. You know what's funny? In the caption of the picture, you know, it's like, oh, from right to left, and it lists their names, and then parentheses, it has their weights. And I see this one dude's only 250 pounds. He was the lightweight of the crew. One dude's 475 pounds. He a big boy. All right, let's read this. Reckhart is fasting, read the headline of a 1902 El Paso Daily Times. Reckhart apparently was, quote, eating only one 15-cent meal a day, end quote.
Was that his name or his condition?
His last name, I believe, was Reckhart, yeah. Although, undoubtedly, at that size, he was wrecking his heart. So that he could gorge himself at an upcoming party. And not just any party. This was the Fat Men's Club's so-called Foolisher. The Foolisher Committee, however, had great anxiety about food and drink holding out if Reckhart were to arrive at the festivities with his sizable belly completely empty. To avoid such calamity, the club members were, quote, seriously contemplating holding a court-martial, end quote. They informed Reckhart that if he expected to come to the party, they wanted him at least, quote, partly fed. This is one example of the many curious troubles and happenings in the history of Texas's fat men's clubs. From the 1800s to the mid-1920s, fat men's clubs flourished widely across the state. To enter, members had to be a minimum of 200 pounds. You're not even scarcely fat at 200 pounds. When I'm at 200, I'm fairly thin.
You know what they say, you got to be something to do something.
So it'd be minimum of 200 pounds and turn over at least $1, the equivalent's about $25 today. The club's purpose, according to an address by the president of the Budding Fat Men's Association of Texas, W.A. Disborough, the goal was to, quote, draw the fat men into closer fraternal relationships. So this was essentially a networking, a social, network. The social clubs,
Of fat people.
yes, had calendars as packed as their plates. They networked at balls, sports events, and banqueting. And before many of the events, they held competitive weigh-ins where the largest members heralded their size. At El Paso's annual picnic of the Fat Men, the infamous Mr. Reckhart was the top tipper of the scales at their pre-barbecue weigh-in. Men were so invested in the outcome of club weigh-ins that they were prone to cheating by stuffing weights in their pockets, as the Weatherford Fat Men's Club was reported to have done before a 1920 baseball game. That's right. These fat fucks played baseball.
Good Lord.
According to Carrie Seagrave's Obesity in America, 1850 to 1939, a history of social attitudes and treatment, one Fat Men's Club in Ohio used the weigh-ins to decide their club's next president, and whoever sent the scales numbers flying highest immediately earned the honor. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, definitions of and attitudes about fat bodies were remarkably different than they are now. What qualified a man for a fraternal order of fat men in 1890 today is now a mere 4 pounds over the average male size in America. But as fat men's clubs were at their peak, people positively associated men of a larger size with wealth and affability.
Oh.
The members of Texas's Fat Men's Clubs certainly were not pinching pennies, and the list of members' occupations included assayers involved in gold mining, railroad presidents, successful butchers, and liquor dealers. Men of large girth were also thought to be a kinder, more sociable sort than those without meat on their bones.
I grew up in the wrong goddamn time.
The Mineola Monitor ran an op-ed in 1899 about why women should like fat men. Quote, "It may be observed, without intentional offense, to any young lady who might be enamored of some skeleton-like young man, that as a rule, fat men, besides being the most jolly and convivial of the male species, are also apt to be the most considerate and charitable to others." The column concluded, "The fact still remains that 7 out of 10 fat men make excellent husbands."
Damn. They're more than just big tits and small dicks.
All in all, it was a great time to be fat. A fat man could find himself a club anywhere from New England to Utah. The movement even hopped the Atlantic to the escargot slurping French, who called their Fat Men's Club Le Club des 100 Kilos, or the 100 Kilos Club. But Texas played host to a particularly bustling community of fat men's clubs, setting up shop in Abilene, Brenham, Brownsville, Dallas, Deming, Edinburgh, El Paso, Fort Worth, Galveston, Huntsville, Mineral Wells, Weatherford, San Antonio. And that brush through some of our state's old periodicals just rustles the surface of layers and layers of chronicled shenanigans. It's fitting, then, that Texas's clubs were fond of barbecues. On June 10th, 1902, during El Paso's annual picnic of the Fat Men, they served the, quote, tenderest beef ever eaten in Texas. And the fat men amused themselves with pyrotechnics and riding around town in a trolley. What a time.
What a time.
Hey, you fat fuck, come ride this trolley with me. The El Paso
horse was like, no.
The El Paso Daily Times reports that, quote, the fats themselves made Rome howl on their trolley ride, scaring all the horses within reach of the cars with their fireworks and making Juarez tremble with the noise. There were also oyster roasts. On September 1st, 1891, the fat men of Galveston had a smashing time at an oyster roast, where the seafood was so good that quite a number of oysters were stowed away inside the vests of the fat men.
Oh.
There were vacations. In 1892, the Velasco Times warned readers that, quote, the fat men's excursion, end quote, would be coming to their town by steamer. And then there was the Texas Fat Men's Club Baseball League, where clubs traveled far and wide to swing bats with their portly brothers.
Does sound like fun.
When town teams carpooled or carriage pooled to games, it was newsworthy. A Brownsville paper reported one such road trip on April 6, 1909. A report was brought this afternoon that one of the horses that were hauling the Fat Men's team to the baseball park dropped dead on the way. How the team finally got to the park is not learned. The price of the horse will be charged to the fat men.
Damn.
They're just like straight up referred in the papers as the fat men. On October 1st, 1920, Weatherford's and Mineral Wells' heavyweights gathered to play ball. The average weight of a player from the visiting Mineral Wells team was 205 pounds. The Weatherford boys averaged a respectable 200. I mean, those guys, that's barely chubby.
I'm 330.
Yeah, you'd be in the Fat Men's Club.
I'm not even that fat.
Fat enough for the Fat Men's
Where the
Club.
hell's Ryan at? He told me I'm not that fucking fat. Love that guy for that.
Where was I? Oh, the competition was tight, like their belts. There was a flurry of drama when Mineral Wells accused Weatherford's crack catcher of not being sufficiently fat. Can you imagine such a time?
He's skinny boy.
Weatherford had to think fast. Their defense? What he lacked in weight, he made up for in height. The crowd was satisfied with that rebuttal.
That doesn't even make any sense.
They were like, yeah, okay. And gameplay soon began. Though baseball is not usually thought of as a contact sport, the two fat clubs were so prone to sideline tussles that moderators were planted around the field to break up brawls. The physicality of the ensuing game is best described by a Daily Herald reporter who preserved the moment forever. This is this guy's quote. "You've seen a large stone thrown into a muddy puddle of water, haven't you? You know the proverbial result of a party stepping on a banana peel. You have read of head-on collisions between freight trains loaded with cabbage onions, etc. I've no
obscure reference.
The combined effects of these three gives a faint idea of the sounds, sights, and smells when fat meets fat."
Damn.
Homeboy wasn't playing. Weatherford bested the Wells' boys on the field, and the two teams closed out the day with a banquet. In a toast, the Mineral Wells promised they would win the next game on their home turf, where the, quote, real fat men of Mineral Wells, who had been too heavy to find an automobile to wheel them to Weatherford, would come out to bat. That gripping 1920 game was likely one of the last ones held. In the 1920s, doctors and insurance companies pushed warnings about the negative side effects of obesity, beginning to recommend both healthy diet and exercise for life longevity.
Ridiculous.
At the same time, personal scales became affordable, so the number of people regularly monitoring their weight from home increased. Weighing in became a private affair, not a public celebration, according to Deborah Levine's Harvard thesis on weight in America. We needed a thesis for this? Really? She explained that in the 20s, public weigh-ins like penny scales and guess your weight booths became distasteful to polite American society's views on weight, and it began to fade from relevance.
Oh, they was woke. They was woke back then.
Decreasing, not celebrating fat became the prevalent public conversation.
Bastards.
The first issue of Reader's Digest in 1920 even contained an article titled, quote, "How to Regulate Your Weight," in which they provided dietary tips for reducing waist size. As a result of the shifts in medical and societal perspective on obesity, men thinned, and so did Fat Men's Club's membership. New England's Fat Men's Club had 10,000 members in its heyday, but by 1924, the club disbanded with a measly 38 members.
Most of them had died from massive coronary.
Losers. None of whom met the 200-pound standard. By the time it petered to a close, it was not much of a Fat Men's Club at all. Texas Fat Club's activity similarly fell off, but the little-remembered history of their antics rests in the black and white of old newspapers. Aside from entertaining, the Fat Men's Club's history offers a window into the relationship between classes and genders during their time. Historian Darrell Leaworthy told NPR that a few female fat clubs did exist, but fat women's reduction clubs were much more common. Body standards for women were much more restrictive than those of men. In 1923, a writer for the Brownwood Bulletin wrote, quote, "Fat men may be popular, but the fat lady is always awkward." He would be fired. The Fat Men's Clubs were also
canceled.
He was the one that coined the phrase, "no fat chicks." The Fat Men's Clubs were also not places for the impoverished, no shit, or those with physically demanding jobs. These were clubs of men with enough money to sustain themselves and then some, as their massive culinary indulgence required a fair bit of funding.
Give me that gout.
The histories of these clubs constitute an odd chapter in the narrative of rich male privilege. Like I was saying, if you haven't had your fill of the complexity and quirk of Fat Men's Club's history, you can dig into the decades of Fat Men's coverage in our state's old newspapers. There are guaranteed to be a few more ridiculous stories to consume from the time in Texas when fat was fashionable. Bimo, what you make of that story? That was a long story.
That sounds like a time to live for a guy like me. I wouldn't have been the fattest.
No.
Shit, dude.
Some of these dudes are real pork pies.
Sounds like good times to me. What's the problem? White male privilege? Praise for being fat? Fuck more do I want? I'm good. I'm okay with that. I see no problem with the way they're running their lives.
Ridiculous story.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, that and that they were so prominent.
Fact is stranger than fiction. Straight up. That proves it.
I wonder if at the time, though, if an outsider like viewed them as ridiculous as we are.
Maybe certain cultures. Like Vietnamese and, you know what I mean? Like, well, they're naturally small people. They eat lentils and dogs.
I don't know.
That's a
I don't know that any of that's
meat.
true.
Oh, that's true. They eat dogs in Vietnam.
You been there? You studied that culture enough to know that with 100% confidence?
Sure I got some Vietnamese siblings over there, right? So I think I'm a better place to say than you.
Have you spoke to them?
No, but either is my father, so... I mean, come on.
Oh, wow. We ain't back at all on this podcast.
Was we supposed to? I thought that was the motherfucking point.
We ain't supposed
Ain't no
to.
feelings here.
Wow. Look at that fat bastard.
Yeah, right. I read the article. I know.
This guy.
This guy right here looks like, he's like, where? What? This is not what I thought it was.
This one kind of looks like Foghorn Leghorn if he was a human.
These two got to be related. That's father and son.
You think so?
Dude, that guy looks like a fucking villain all day.
He looks like someone like from a Batman comic.
And that's like his younger son who's going to take over the evil empire after his dad dies in 20 minutes.
This goober.
Like, I'm a fat fuck, yeah.
Got such a weird smirks on their face. Except, like, this one almost looks ashamed of himself.
Give me my cigar dipped in cheese, please.
I don't know if this is the right place for me. Wow.
No, son, you in the right place.
Do you think there's any appetite, pun intended, for Fat Men's Clubs to make a revival in the 21st century?
No. I mean, obviously society's getting away from fat shaming, but
is it?
I don't think
this country's fat as fuck.
Exactly. We don't fat shame enough. You see a fat person, you tell them they're fat. You let them know they're fat.
I don't know that we need to fat shame.
Oh, we fat shame.
But we certainly don't need to glorify.
The only way people get, the only way you get through to people is to shame them. Unless it's me, because I don't give a fuck.
I don't know that shaming works. People are different. Different strokes for different folks. You want to know who taught me that phrase? Jibo.
Oh, yeah?
We were kids. He was the first person I ever heard say
Her
that.
brother was Shelvin and different strokes for different folks.
I remember he said that, and I understood the point. I was like, oh, okay, I hear that.
I was always a fan of his no phonies.
No phonies?
That was like his big catchphrase for a while, no phonies.
Like being a fake?
Yeah. He also had Obama Yo Mama, which meant make your mom proud. I'm like, you can't put Obama Yo Mama on a shirt. Someone's going to misinterpret that somehow. And you're going to get killed. Like, I don't die,
man.
Obama Yo Mama. Like, what the hell
no phonies. Like, okay, use it for me. How would he, like, what would you be doing to...
It was used by itself. No phonies.
So you could be eating a peanut butter and jelly... Okay.
No phonies. Give me a double cheeseburger. No phonies.
Like they were going to give him a rubber cheeseburger or something?
Give me $5 on the Red Wings. No phonies.
Okay. I don't know what to make of that.
That was his thing, man. I almost was going to have my wife make a shirt for him that said no phonies just to be funny. After all these years to have a good laugh about it.
No phonies.
That and shelve it, obviously.
Shelve it. That was a good one. Shelve it, yeah.
Shelve it. I don't know what that means.
For those of you who are listening and you have no idea what we're talking about, you're like, who's Jibo? Jibo was Brandon's one-time stepfather.
Long line of stepfathers.
Well, only officially there was what?
What's official? Getting married?
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit. I think it's official when they make you break poop with your hand, or they make you run.
Wait a second.
Or,
Whoa, hold on. Who? What? Someone made you break poop with your hand?
Or they have a hot-ass daughter they don't let you sleep with. These are things that constitute my mind stepdad.
So earlier when you said you were over your childhood anguish, I think you lied. I think there's lots of therapy to be done here.
Things you got to know about me that you clearly already know. I lie.
Yeah.
About shit, especially my own personal inner turmoil.
Could you please answer for me who made you break poo with your bare hands?
Well, I'm not big on mentioning names. You are what I broke up in my bare hand. A piece of shit.
Was this a human piece of shit?
Yes, it was expelled from my anus. What do you mean? It come out roughly the shape of that glass you're drinking your white Zinfandel out of.
He made you break your own poop?
So we had a shit knife, because
Yeah.
we pooped forearms. So they had to be cut up to go down the system.
Right.
One day I had pooped what could only be described as a softball, which from what I learned is actually kind of common. People pooping balls, like shit balls. But anyway, so I shit this thing. I'm like, well, that ain't going down. So I go to underneath the sink to find the knife, and it's not there. And I'm like, hey, I need a knife. He's like, oh, we ain't using any more knives. So use your fucking hand. I'm like, what? Use your fucking hand. Well, that's what I did. I reached in that cold, cold toilet water, grabbed that ball of shit, and chunked it up with my bare fucking hand. As he watched, mind you. A little salvation leaking from his lips.
And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. That's why his kid's dead.
Damn! Now you want to talk about saying some shit. Damn!
For those of you not in the know, yes, there's an actual human being who died, who was just the butt of that joke.
Mom, he said it, not me.
Sorry about that one, and the motherfucker was asking for it.
My mom was so upset when she heard that.
Listen, you don't turn off my goddamn Ninja Turtles arcade game. You understand? There's a price to be paid for that. Karma bit you in your Quasimodo-looking ass.
You don't come in and steal my goddamn bedroom for 1 weekend a month and hit on my fucking mom and then get to go to goddamn Disney World and not expect me to make jokes and laugh when you die.
That shit don't happen.
So...
Worm food.
Go fuck it. Lots of worm food. So literally the worms are still eating as we speak. And years ago.
He definitely could have jump-started a Michigan Fat Man's Club.
He was a modern-day Michigan Fat Man, dude. They were putting this guy in lacrosse. Lacrosse, he can hardly fucking walk. Put him in a wheelchair, not lacrosse.
A wheelchair.
All right? Give me a fucking break here.
Oh, boy. We went into it. We didn't even pick different names. We were just like,
Nah, kid was an idiot. His dad was an idiot.
He was an asshole.
His other kid was an idiot.
Yeah, they were grade A assholes.
We've seen that sign that said homemade brats. Like, look, homemade brats, just like. And then we all laughed. Even his dad laughed. Like his dad knew his kid was a piece of shit,
like,
too.
Yeah, my kid's an asshole. Oh, my.
Wow.
Trip down memory lane.
We'll see you in hell when we get there. It's been real.
Wow.
He'll be the guy at the all-you-can-eat ass buffet.
Brandon will be there with his goddamn saran wrap.
Here we go, boys.
Anyone want me to eat ass? I got my saran wrap ready. And remember, be you vagrant or be you vandal, all rascals and rogues, welcome here.